Okay, question 10. We've got a question. It says y equals f of x, and it says it passes through a point, but it actually tells us f dashed of x. So if you've done enough practice papers, you spot this is a standard type of question. All right, we've got to find f of x, so we'll working backwards from f dashed of x to f of x. So we have got to undo the differentiation. We've got to integrate. Okay. What some of you are very bad at doing, I mean, it's set up beautifully for you to integrate because you've got fractions, you've got powers of x. You don't have to unpick anything. The powers of x are already there. That says minus a half, not a half. Okay, so you add 1 to the power, you divide by the new power, but we have to simplify each term, so the fractions you get, you need to simplify correctly. And make sure you do that. So when you're doing something like 3/8, okay, divided by 3, make sure you can do that correctly. So when you're dividing by a fraction, or when you're dividing by a fraction by a number, if you're dividing by 3, okay, that is the same as multiplying by 1/3. So that will probably help you with this first one, unless you just can say, well, 1/3 of 3/8 is kind of obvious. Okay, and the other one that fooled even more people was when you have to divide by, the new power here will be a half. When you divide by a half, that's not the same as taking a half of a number. If you're dividing by anything, okay, as we did with here, dividing by something is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So dividing by a half is the same as multiplying by 2. Okay, so that's how you tidy up correctly. Do not forget your plus c, because here we've got a given point, and a point, if you're ever given a point, you're being given an x and a y, and you're going to be plugging the x and the y in. So after you've integrated this, you're going to get f of x, which is basically y equals, and then some x terms with your plus c on the end, and you're going to plug in your value of y, and you're going to plug in your value of x, and you're going to find this value of c. And when you've done all of that, you're going to write out the answer beautifully, simplifying each term with the value for c plugged in. Do not forget to write out the final answer, or you're just throwing away one of these 5 marks. Okay. Then for part B, finding an equation, we're underlining equation, the normal trigger phrase. A normal is a straight line. So we're again using, expect it to happen about twice, if not more, on each paper. We're expecting equation of a line. We need a point and a gradient. Okay. All right, the point, oh look, it tells us, all right, but the gradient, well, 3 methods for gradient. We've already used the y equals mx plus c method. If it's a tangent or a normal on core 1, we know that the equation, the gradient, is going to come from our dy by dx. Well, have we got dy by dx? Think carefully about what we've done. We had an f dashed of x that we integrated to find f of x, so this already is our dy by dx, our f dashed of x. So that is going to give me the gradient of something. In order to get a gradient, I need to put in an x value. Have I got a value of x? Oh yes, I have. Okay, so I put that in, but the normal, of course, is perpendicular to the curve, so I'm going to be using a dy by dx and an answer to that when x is 4, okay, but I'm also then going to have to look for the perpendicular gradient, and that's going to be the gradient I need. So I've got a point, I've got a gradient, so I can do my y minus y1 recipe. Okay, and then I need to put the answer into that form to cash in for 5 marks. Now that really is a set piece question. It's one of the topics that people maybe get completely on top of later, but you have to be able to get 10 out of 10 on this kind of question if you're going to hope to get a decent grade on core 1. And it's not hard, just learn how to do this kind of question. Totally standard. Okay, good luck with that.